Graham, do you always shave your legs? And I was like, whoa, hang on, what kind of question is that? And then Graham's response was, no, I've always been bald. And I'm just like, oh, get me out of here, for God's sake, what is going on?
He's probably got pink legs today, but
He's got drumsticks today. He's got drumsticks today. We had the Whopper off, didn't we?
The Whopper off.
Wasn't happy. So I opened it without looking and started chomping it. And
Incorrect.
You had my triple bacon burger and you just went, oh, okay, I'll have this now.
Right, so should we now do what we always do and I'll tell the truthful version of the story? It's like
Say
literally
what?
when you're streaming, if you find out I've done something that you'd have liked to have done, you get so jealous. So don't you?
Who's got the worst temper, you reckon, out of me and you?
You, 100%. I haven't really got a temper.
You do, you have your moments.
What a week that was.
I'm glad it's over, and not just talking about the week, talking about the season. It was a long journey down to Brighton this weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, I feel so tired today. I think I probably had like 6 hours sleep. I think you slept longer than I did.
Battered, absolutely finished. I could feel it this morning. You always know, don't you? You got that extra tiredness in your eyes when you wake up and you're like, why do I feel like I've just been hit by a bus?
I can see it. I'm trying not to look at my own reflection today, but I was woken up by a pigeon as well. Do you hear that pigeon in the morning?
Pigeons trying to be owls, waking you up in summertime.
That's what I do feel like. Pigeons are just desperate to be owls. Like they're trying really hard to move.
Pigeons trying to be owls. There's your headline straight
We
away.
need to get rid of that tree outside the house. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, no, but into what was a planes, trains and automobiles sort of weekend, really, wasn't it? With Brighton, one of the worst stadiums not to get to, but position.
It was nice.
It's crap. Stadium's nice, but
Yeah.
we made more of a journey of it. We went via Oxford and Reading.
We did an actual road trip, didn't we?
It was a proper one. First of all, the Oxford's leg of the trip, I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay, Oxford. I like the little town. I thought we did well in choosing Oxford for a little break.
I think it was nice because it was like 2.5 hours or 2 hours to get there, and it just felt fine. We went in the morning, saw all the Bolton fans heading down to Wembley, and then we get to Oxford and see all the Oxford fans out in their shirts, and we was like, is that who Bolton are playing? Have we missed a trick here?
It's like we'd organised the trip beforehand, but we'd not realised that we were going down into League One playoff central.
Yep.
Because we'd just gone into a bar for something to eat before, just after the Oxford fans had left. So they'd been getting themselves prepped and ready and on the train heading down to Wembley, and we just rolled up after that.
I think we timed it right, actually, didn't we?
It was perfect, yeah. It was lovely. We had, obviously, people who watch FUTV were watching the show, and it was, what's the name? It was nice to actually be live out on location elsewhere, doing something a little bit different again.
Yeah, we got lucky with that bar. Where did we end up? Was it O'Neill's?
O'Neill's. Was it Riley? No, it wasn't Riley. It was O'Neill's, yeah.
I'd planned this nice trip to Oxford thinking we'll find like a quaint little cafe bar or something, and then we end up in O'Neill's.
Yeah. It was just anywhere with food at that point, because we'd set off without any breakfast, which is not recommended for driving at all. So don't do it, because it does start to, I don't know what the word is to describe what it makes you feel like. It makes you feel lethargic.
I just feel like when you do that, then you get to the point you're hungry and you'll eat anything rather than eating something like healthy or something good, which we really didn't eat much healthy food over the weekend.
You struggle with the whole travelling aspect of things, don't you, because of the crap food that you eat?
Yeah, it just makes me feel really rubbish.
I know, but there's not much to choose from. You've got to be specific. On away days and the amount of travelling that's involved, it's a pain in the ass. Like, if you're trying to look after your diet and things like that, you just cannot do it. And I think we ate well, but not in the right well.
I think when we got to O'Neill's, I think there was 3 options of like a breakfast, and I had the small one, and then there was like a large one, then there was like a ridiculously large one. And obviously you had that one, didn't you?
Of course.
Free of everything.
Any man goes for the biggest breakfast that there is on the menu.
Do you feel like it affects your manlyhood if you don't order the big one?
I feel like you're a bit of a letdown. You're a bit of a letdown to the men community if you don't have the big breakfast. You've got to always have the monster one.
What did we end up with? We had a breakfast, a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, a pint and a half, and a Baby Guinness shot.
Baby Guinness shot. The guy who's actually I think he owned it. He was the one who was running it, you would say.
He was definitely the manager.
Yeah, he was very nice, the old Gaelic football fan.
Very friendly.
He was very friendly, yeah, and I think he made us feel right at home with them baby Guinnesses, just to set us on the road. By the way, don't drink and drive.
Yeah, he had a decent break.
Yes, we had to walk around for a bit first because we went to Oxford on the Saturday, obviously, and then it was heading down to Brighton on the Sunday via Reading. That was the second part of the trip, which was let's just say, I don't know what word to describe Reading is. I think you've got a few after the weekend, haven't you?
Do you know, I'm sure there's people that live in Reading or around Reading that will say there's nice parts to it, and maybe we just got unlucky, but it was a bit of a dive.
It was.
It reminded me of certain parts of the outskirts of Manchester, I think.
I just didn't. There's this whole myth about the South being this rich area and being nicer than the North. I'm just not having it.
Nope.
I'm not having it at all. You have to travel miles to get to the nice bits down south.
Yeah.
And the outskirts, like we were in a hotel in Reading, and we wanted to go out to watch the boxing, and we turned into a pub, which can only be described as a Western saloon. Like you walked through the doors. They went, open the doors.
100 eyes on us.
And then, like, everyone's watching it. Where are you from? That's what it looked like. And while you were sat there, made to feel like you just did not belong.
I felt really bad because I usually love a pub atmosphere. I'm not one of them people that doesn't like going in the pub and watching the football, the boxing or whatever. But I sat down and we had a drink and I said to you, how long until the boxing starts? And you was like, about 3 hours. And I just went, I can't sit here for 3 hours. No. I just can't.
You just didn't. In the end, we actually think of just paying for it and watching it.
Yeah, there was about 20 guys around the pool table, and they were cheering like they just won the Champions League every time someone potted a ball, and I was just getting really annoyed. I was like, calm down.
Boxing crowds to football crowds is a different environment.
You could tell it was a different group of people. It was weird.
Different vibe altogether, because it's like with a boxing crowd, they feel like they're in the ring. They're talking and they're cheering and they're supporting, but they're supporting with actions. They get a bit more irate. I feel like boxing in a pub, and then when it goes wrong, I'll say, for instance, you've just got like two local rivals or something like that. Like, it's all right from different parts of the world when the fighters are fighting each other, but if it was two rivals, like local rivals as well, you can see how it could get wrong.
Well, I was starting to worry because I was thinking if they get that excited about pool, then what they're going to be like 3 hours from now.
Inside them. Yeah. No, that's exactly
so leaving there was definitely the right thing to do. And then we just took the boring option, really, didn't we? We got some food and some snacks and went and streamed it from the room.
Even trying to get food in Reddit, it was like trying to... honestly, the words and the sentence...
You nearly killed a cyclist, didn't you?
Did I?
Yeah, do you not remember when you span round in the road and drove on the wrong side for a couple of seconds? He give you a bit of a funny look.
Yeah, it's dog eat dog in them areas. So it was like Beirut. I said, all I wanted was a bit of a takeaway. Get back to the hotel, watch the boxing, comfort.
Yeah.
That was difficult on its own. Like, when you walk into a shop, we found a co-op, so we thought, we'll go get some drinks, we'll go get some snacks, whatever. Mm-hmm. But the stink... like, you just make you feel like you don't want to eat there or don't want to get anything from there.
Like the fridge was broken or something. Everything just went wrong for us, didn't it?
It puts you off. So it's like, we're going from one place to another. I don't like this place. Let's go and do this. Yeah. Let's try and make myself feel better. Walk into this place. It stinks. It's hanging. And it's like, it's not making me feel any better.
I think you were getting more and more angry.
I could feel my blood boil as the night was going on. I'm like, how can it be so awkward just to want to have some nice food and watch the boxing? Like, it's not difficult, but that place, that town, just made it impossible for you to enjoy anything. It was a shithole. I'm not going to lie. I just thought I'd not rate it at all. And you thought that was
say what you think.
You thought that was a nice town.
Well, I've never been, but I just assumed, you know, of all the little rivers and everything. I just thought Reading.
We got told by some more local people at the Brighton game that was a place not to go.
Yeah, I think
afterwards,
it was Mark.
Didn't we? Yeah, he said, I would have told you not to go there from the start. But little do we know, like, obviously we're up north. We don't know all the towns down south and what's nicest, but it's overly priced. It's a shithole. it's hard to find anywhere nice without having to drive miles.
And it's hard to drive around there as well.
Even the worst areas in Manchester compared to down south, it's honestly, it looks like a summer camp up here in Manchester compared to some of the crap down there. They just don't look after anything in them areas. I just don't understand it at all.
No, it was bad.
It was horrendous.
Sunday was much better.
Sunday, yes. Sunday was fine. Sunday was fine. Going down to Brighton, you realise when you've gone to Oxford and drove a couple of hours, then you drove another hour and a bit to get to Reading, then you've got to drive another hour and a half from there to get to Brighton. You realise how far down, how the end of the earth was. Because you made a point on the way back, didn't you? You put the sat-nav in. So, and the sat-nav came up, so we're closer to bleeding France than we are to getting back to Manchester.
It's not very often when you put in the sat-nav that you see outside of the UK, but because we was in Brighton, it was just showing like Brussels and everywhere, and I was like, oh, this is so painful. We've got to drive all the way up there, and it's closer to go to Europe.
It is. It's weird, isn't it? Like driving. This is where people fly places, and people don't want to go to the airport, do they, just for the whole messing around? But you can see why they do it.
No, but you can see why they do it. But then you'll take a plane, and then you'll see why you don't want to do that as well. Because getting in and out of the airport is always a nightmare and takes ages and costs a fortune. So you can't win either way, can you?
No, transport it's ridiculous either way. It's overpriced, and whichever way you want to travel. And I don't think it's going to change. But yeah, when we did get to Brighton, it was an all right day. The stadium's fantastic, but it's in the middle of bleeding nowhere.
Yeah, there wasn't much to do. At least the weather was nice.
Yep, the weather was nice. It was hot. A typical last day of the season.
Yeah.
In amongst the United fans. I've never been to Brighton and seen us win. I've never seen us score at Brighton. That was a nice change, just to see some goals go in. The crowd were upbeat. It was a good atmosphere.
I said to you, though, at one point, I feel like this is going to end 0-0, and it'd be such a sad way to end the season.
It would have been perfect, the way the season's gone, for it to just drift out like that in a 0-0 draw.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm just happy that we actually got the win and actually had something to cheer, because it's been a long time coming.
Yeah. Well, you get accused of not being happy when United win, don't you? So...
Oh yeah, you can't win either way. You make a negative comment and people say you've been overly negative, over the top. Why are you not happy that we've won? And then when you say that we have the result, they come back and say, well, are you happy with that performance?
I can't understand the people that say still, well, it's a win, just take it. Like for me, if you were playing week in, week out and playing good and winning, and then you have a bad result, that's when you say, look, we won the game, let's get on with it, next game. But when you play bad and you're boring game after game after game, and you lose a lot of games as we have, and then you win one, and if you've not played well, that's not the game where you say, well, it's a win.
No, definitely agree, because it's like if you'd have been playing well through the season, that was a one-off, like you said, you can take it.
Yeah.
It's part of...
you take them as part of, this is our mentality, we can play bad and we can still win, and we'll go on to the next one. But that isn't where we are. And sometimes the people who are making these comments, I'm wondering, are they even watching the game? I don't understand how people can say it, watch that game and say it. Like, I'm like, did you enjoy that game of football? Really?
Well, that's it. Everyone was in agreement. Like, we were being bantered by Brighton fans outside. I think that's just when they came over and seen Graham's legs, though, to be honest, because it was warm.
They were bantering Graham's milk bottles.
It was warm, and obviously people were in the shorts. And
you had to go at me for what I said to Graham, didn't you?
No, so like the guy, first of all, you slaughtered him because you were telling people that this is Graham, this is the guy that gets confused when he's going out with his mum to a garden centre for being his mum's partner.
He told that story.
Old. But you didn't have to tell everyone else, which you did. And then you said, Graham, do you always shave your legs? And I was like, whoa, hang on, what kind of question is that? And then Graham's response was, no, I've always been bald. And I'm just like, oh, get me out of here, for God's sake, what is going on? I'm just like...
I just looked at you and you were just looking at us like, what the fuck?
What are you talking about? I'm just like, how are we gone on to bald?
It was just a normal conversation for me and Graham, though.
Bald, bony, white, pale white legs.
Don't be harsh, they weren't that bad. You got a bit of sun on him yesterday anyway. He's probably got pink legs today, but
he's got drumsticks today. But no, bless him, he was there again. And
Graham loved it.
he enjoyed the day. I think most people did. We had a little chat with Bobby Zamora outside as well, which was good.
Oh, we did, yeah. I was like, who is it?
You didn't know who he was you?
I'm rubbish. As soon as you said, I was like, oh, God, yeah, of course it is.
He's actually a real top guy, actually.
He was really
Had
nice.
a lot of time for us and had a decent little conversation, stopped and... You know, some Premier League footballers or some people at United players don't have time for anyone, but...
They don't really have a choice when Graham's, because he just like grabs hold of them and just starts chatting to them, doesn't he?
Yeah, does.
He always like says, I loved that game when you did such a thing.
There's always a memory. There's always a memory you've got with every player. Anyone of note, anyway. There's always that one game you go, that's that. I was there when you did that.
Yeah.
I remember where I was when you did that.
So great day.
Pete was in there. Yeah, Big Pete was in there.
Oh, I saw Peter Schmeichel because I was like, oh, Peter Schmeichel. And then you and Graham just carried on talking. And
he
then
was incognito, wasn't he? He was disguised.
No, you can't really disguise yourself when you're Peter Schmeichel, I don't think. But anyway,
I
like
think
30 seconds later, you and Graham went, there's Peter Schmeichel.
It is.
It is.
Dana's in the house. But yeah, straight off the back of the 99 documentary when that was on, and the conversation came up then, didn't it, about Roy Keane, about how good United are. And there was another United fan stood with us just before the coaches were coming in because we was getting some footage of United coaches arriving at the Amex, and we just put the question bluntly, and another United fan that was...
No, she put the question to us. I think she heard us talking, and then she just suddenly went, are you Ericsson Hagen or out? And we all just went, because we didn't expect it. And then we asked her the question, and she was like, oh, out. She was 100% done, wasn't she?
Get him out. See, this is what people don't realise with a travelling fan base. You'll get all of the media talking about the fans, Eric Ten Hag talking about the fans and cheering and being right behind the team. Like, when we score goals, we're not going to stand there doing nothing.
No, we still support the team. But she was, I think she said she was 66 and she was there on her own and she supports
the club
home and away. She was telling us about how many times she's been moved to see it when she's inside Old Trafford. So she, she's a proper fan, and she's there watching, but at the same time, she doesn't support the manager anymore. So I think it was just interesting for me because sometimes I get the feeling that all the travelling fans are more Eric Ten Hag in, because I think the way it's portrayed maybe to us, when you go and actually have a chat with people, you realise there really is a good mix, I would say, of opinions on it.
Yeah, no, there's definitely away fans that are just fed up with the same old shit as well.
We were involved at the end, weren't we, singing, chanting along to all the players who came to watch, and I think they were a little bit taken aback by how much singing and support there was. And of course we were backing Ten Hag and backing the players and asking them to go and win that trophy next week. That's what you do.
Yeah, of course you support the players when they're in the stadium. Notice someone send a message to me, I bet you were cheering when Rasmus scored, though, weren't you? I was like...
It's so weird.
Oh, yeah, that's what a fan would do.
Yeah, I've come all the way to Brighton just to
stand there.
Goals.
Like, I'm chuffed that we got the win. Like, you're always happy with a win, but doesn't mean that everything else is hunky-dory and all right afterwards. But it was one of them hot day, horrible pitch sides.
Do you know what was so funny about that, though, where we were? The stand, you could see the sun was slowly going down behind the stand, and it was one of them where you kind of waiting for it because you're too hot. And then it got to the point where the stand was curved, so I was in the shade, and most of your body was in the shade, but because you're so tall, you were just stood there looking at me fuming because the sun was still on you.
It's like that. Like I could see the shadow. It had gone around me. Because I was so tall, I could still get the sun on my head. It was doing my head in.
You had to do your Men in Black impression for a bit longer, didn't you?
Shades on, cool dude, like, just see it out, get a little bit more of a tan.
Yeah.
Like, top up before we go away on Monday. Whoop, yes.
I think we made the TV as well. Graham got sent a screenshot.
Yeah, I've got the same screenshots. I don't look impressed.
You didn't look happy. Graham was loving it. I think he had his arms up and everything. Like going.
No, it wasn't that. He was pointing out what to do on the pitch. But yeah, I always seem to get snaps when we're playing against Brighton.
Yeah,
it's.
I'm usually hidden by someone's arm or something.
It's one of them games where we're always front row and the cameras are always panned right down there. It's actually a nicely set up stadium, so you do get a lot.
It was nice. It was good being at the front in some ways, but I just think when you're that close and that low down,
don't see much.
Like literally my head height was probably like where Rasmus's knee is, so you don't really get... I like to look down on the game so you can actually see what's going on. That was the only thing. But...
Yeah, waited for the bus, seen the players get off, and then caught up with the bus on the way back. I think Sir Jim's cutting down on the expensive travel because we actually seen United coaches travelling back up the motorway.
Well, that's 2 times we've seen them because it was Wembley as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's no quick trains out of there for the Reds.
I got my Casemiro screenshot out and put it against the window in the hope that he'd see it.
Yes.
No, not Casemiro.
Lissandro. Yes, the butcher is back.
Last season it'd have been Casemiro, but...
Yeah. He's had a bit of a fall off, hasn't he? Bless him, little chubby.
I know, we still love him though.
Yes, we do. But yep. Can
I just say as well, when you said about waiting to watch the players come off the bus, we stood there about 2 hours, didn't we?
You wanted to get there, and I went, are you prepared to stand there? To get right at the front to get some a good picture and see them, you have to wait a while.
Yeah.
And then it's over in like 10 seconds. Pretty much like everything with United, like the press conferences. Over in 10 seconds with 10 hour, quick fire, gone. It's like they have a massive schedule.
I just thought there's nothing to do around the stadium. We can't go anywhere. We're going to end up stood around somewhere. We might as well go and stand somewhere where we're actually going to see something. But I was surprised how late they got in. Was it like 2:30? 4 o'clock kickoff? Yeah.
But the way back, we had the Whopper off, didn't we?
The Whopper off.
Wasn't happy. Was not happy. You set me up with that.
It's not my fault. You chose the wrong one.
No, I chose the right burger, and then you said this one's yours. So I opened it without looking and started chomping it. And then you had my triple bacon burger, and you just went, oh, okay, I'll have this now.
Right, so should we now do what we always do, and I'll tell the truthful version of the story?
Say what happened then. Let's see.
We open the bag. You're in a massive rush, as always, to fill your face. Take the burger out and say, oh, this is very dense, which you're not getting away with.
It was way the pleasing touch.
Within 5 seconds, half the burger's gone, and then I get my burger out and say, mine's also quite dense.
Yeah, it was mine.
But it was very dense, mine, obviously because it had 3 burgers on it.
Yeah, 3.
So you realised that we got the wrong one, and then they're obviously looking, like staring into the back of my head because you want to swap, but you've already destroyed half the burger and ripped half the bread bun off the top. So I look at that and say, no, sorry. So I made a bit of a deal with you that I'd eat like just under half of the triple one, and you eat the other one, and then you can have that one as well. So I think you did quite well out of the deal.
Yeah, I won't be going Burger King again. Shit.
No, it costs about 30 quid as well.
Oh, God, it's so crap. The buns are crap as well. It just the
fries were good.
Too much meat for the buns.
Don't take it out on the mic now.
Yeah, too much meat, and I think they've gone down. They've gone down the pan. I think Burger King. I used to love Burger King. I used to think the burgers were better, but
well, maybe it was a bad day and they need another chance.
No, services are shit, aren't they? To be honest, they're horrible. Like,
do you know what? I'm so regretting now that we didn't just go in the Starbucks and get like a cheese toastie or something. That wouldn't have been as unhealthy, would it?
Good old cheese and ham toaster.
I went in and looked at them, and I was trying to sway you in a direction of not being too bad, and you were like,
Well, we've already eaten a lot of shit. Might as well eat some more shit and just have it out, and then just be good for the rest of the week.
Well, you saved about a third of that huge burger, and then that about an hour later on the road, didn't you?
Needed it because it was like road rage within myself because of the roads coming back.
What is it with you, honestly?
Oh, God, can't handle it. It's like, just don't trust any sat-navs. Trust your own instincts.
I should have just carried on driving, I think. That swap over didn't do you any good.
It did fine. We got out of the tricky bit, and then the normal bit, God knows what happened. Just
no, so I'm not great with geography, but you was desperate to not go on the M6 and go on the M1. And then when you try to turn off to do that, whatever route that was, it
far up.
Put too much time on our journey. You was going mental, like having a full-on argument with the sat-nav. And so I brought my phone up to check the directions.
Audi sat-navs are crap, by the way.
No, it's fine. It's a few. So I checked on my phone and I said, no, you just put about an hour and a half on our journey. No, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. So you was like determined to keep driving just to prove yourself right. And about 5 minutes later, you went, I'm going to have to turn around, aren't I?
And then turned around and went the wrong way again.
Turned around, missed the exit.
Just not concentrating.
You were going, Ed's gone, that's it. And I was just keeping quiet.
Ed's gone now. I can't believe
Down
this.
some country lanes,
Pitch
into a
black,
farm.
No lights. Just like, right, let's end this day now.
You know it's bad when it's like midnight and you're like Nuneaton or whatever it was called.
God, yeah, it was... do you know, you can imagine that was something that would usually happen if we'd have lost the game and it had been a shocker of a weekend. But
you didn't have that to blame, did you?
No, disappointed. Actually, no, we forgot to mention the boxing because you fell asleep before it actually started after all.
I'm glad I fell asleep. Well. You promised me 10:30.
They said 10:30.
I woke up just as I could hear them like coming out, and I looked at the time and it was like 11:30 or something ridiculous. I was like, I definitely made the right choice.
Well, Tyson blew it. I thought his chance was there. He could have taken him out. You didn't see any of it because you fell on the sleep. Big dosser. Like, God, man, he's come out and said, I think he's disappointed. He feels like he was robbed, but yeah, it was one of them that just, I don't think it was it was an all right fight, but disappointed that he didn't give. I thought he could have done more. I think we'll get a rematch again, and it will be another one over in Saudi again at a stupid time.
I've gotten a bit bored of watching it when it's in Saudi. There's no atmosphere whatsoever.
Yeah, it's crap. Like, there's nothing there at all. We've been to boxing in Manchester. Yeah. It's one of the best atmospheres you can get.
Great.
Indoor arena, everyone's... Yes, obviously, drink does play a big role in the atmosphere. Obviously, everyone being teetotal over there in Saudi and no one drinks, not allowed to drink. It just doesn't do it.
Everyone's just stood there really quiet and still watching it, and it just feels wrong.
No. There's no real sort of like oohs and ahs when things go wrong or anything happens in it. So, no, it's not for me, but yeah, I think we should have known it was going to be one of them, like, real... It was a good weekend, but like nothing really sort of sparked into life, did it?
It was a busy weekend as well. Though. I do feel quite tired today.
Yeah.
Although I did go out and do my little 5K this morning. Are you proud of me?
Yes, both did, didn't we? Both got out, but shake off the weekend cobwebs and try and get back into a healthy kick.
Yeah, we both did. I went first and you went second. I said, you can run with me if you want. And you went, no, but I want to run fast. Thanks.
My strides would just take me.
I have to do about 8 steps for every 1 step you do.
Yeah.
It's like a cartoon.
There's nothing we can do about that.
No.
You just have to deal with it.
I think I have to work so much harder than anyone else to run.
Yeah, you do. But
then I burn like a third the calories you burn.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Like, you doing more but burning less.
Yeah.
I'm doing less in effect. And
I'll do a 5K and burn just under 300 calories. And I bet yours was like 600-700, weren't it?
No, I think it was just under 500 calories.
Still. Yeah, even when we go for a walk, yours is always ridiculous.
Yeah,
so you can eat more and then you burn more when you exercise. So I'm just at a disadvantage with everything.
I can eat like a pig and get away with it. I know it's not that fair on you, but it's just the way it is. Metabolism always helps me out a lot of the time. But we are trying to be healthy, aren't we? Because we're going away on Monday.
Yeah, we've got to be good for a week now.
So now it's like real strict. It's like don't think of junk food.
Yeah.
Don't even walk past anywhere that's got that lovely smell that lures you in every time.
We'll have to go and get some of them low-calorie ice creams.
Oh, God, yeah.
You know what? Speaking about going for that run this morning as well, I'm surprised you actually let me go for a run without you. You usually get a bit jealous, don't you, when I do activities without you?
They don't. You just got like this hidden like list that you think that I've got that I won't allow you to do.
No, it's not a hidden list. Like, literally, when you're streaming, if you find out I've done something that you'd have liked to have done, you get so jealous. So... There was the other week when I found something good to watch on Netflix and I watched 2 episodes. Something can I remind you that you said you didn't want to watch, and then other people said it was good and you found out I'd watched it. How could you have watched that without me?
I can't remember you actually wanting to watch it in the first place.
No, I did. I was like, what about that? And you were like, no. And then you just skipped on and did what you always do and go to like the 80s movies. So there was that 80s. One. And then it's like, if I eat something while you're streaming or while you're not here, that's a big no-no. Not happy about that.
That's the rule.
Or if I say like if I say I'm going to the gym and you can, you're going to the gym without me.
You do that though.
Or you're going on a walk. I can't go on a walk now. You can't go on a walk. So
I feel like I'm missing out.
I'll just sit here, do nothing, not eat.
I feel like I'm missing out on something like taking advantage while I'm actually working.
The worst one is if I say I'm having a bath, you get so jealous. You're like, I just love a bath now.
Yeah.
I'm lucky.
But yeah, when I go up onto do the streams and everything like that, you just do your own little things.
Of course I do.
Take advantage of that time. Well, I don't get that time.
I think you're fine, you do.
No, I don't get that time because when I come back down and we're back to normal
because
stuff
being
again.
a YouTuber is busy.
Always busy.
Yeah.
Always busy. It's one of the hardest jobs in the world.
You've done that to me, actually, when I've been in the office on a Thursday. I've said, is it Thursday afternoon, that bath time? You'd be like, I might just have a bath on a Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, relax, because you don't get a chance to do it anymore.
You don't get a chance to do it.
No, well, I feel like sometimes I just force it and make it happen.
Yeah.
But no, I think your list is. I think it's sort of
my list is named things Caz is not allowed to do about Adam, and it's growing. You know,
it's not growing at all. I think you're telling a little white lie with that one. No, you're exaggerating it again, aren't you?
No,
you are. You're exaggerating it to make me feel bad.
No, I'm just being honest. We'll see what everyone else thinks, won't we?
Yeah, I think they'll see it from my side. I think they're sensible people, aren't they?
Do you know what? You get upset as well because when you're like streaming, everyone in the chat always takes my side on things. Though.
I had to take over the bleeding streams.
It's because they're my mates.
It's like I turn it on, get everything set, everything done, prep ready to go. Click into the chat, see who's there and who's talking, and then there's Caz rallying the troops.
There was one.
It feels
last
like
week.
it's like what can we do this week, guys? Before he comes on, let's see what we can get.
Everyone loves winding you up, but there was one last week where I think we were going out for your brother's birthday, weren't we, on Thursday? And you was trying to do a stream first, so you got some shorts that you wanted to wear. You were like, "Are they all right?" And I was like, "No, they definitely need ironing." So me being as nice as I am, I said, "I'll iron them for you while you stream. Don't worry, you go off." So I ironed them, and then I think after I turned the iron off, I can only assume it was the iron. The electric cut off, didn't it?
Yeah.
Is it when it trips or whatever you call it? And your show cut off.
And the show cut off. So me trying to get Caz, in fact, just helping me out, kind of blew the show.
Yeah.
And then we got
guys.
a message on one of the comments came on one of the videos. "Oh, good to see you're actually happy, Adam. On Thursday night, you look really stressed." I'm like, I'm not be stressed if the stream actually has cut off. How does anyone actually know? Because it was fine.
You probably just thinking that you've got to get out afterwards, and it was on your mind. But in the next day when people were chatting, someone said, "Oh, it's Caz's dodgy hair straighteners or something that caused it to trip." And I said, actually, it was me ironing for Adam. So that everyone was in the chat saying, "Does Adam not do his own ironing?" I actually stuck up for you and said, "Adam's actually really good. He does a lot of his own ironing. There's some weeks where you'll do everyone's ironing," and I come in and I'm like, "Oh, thanks." But you saw some of the chat and then started having a go at me live because I was bantering you about not doing the ironing.
Yeah, look, jump the gun a little bit.
My response was, "Right, well, I'm not sticking up for you again, and your ironing's crap, by the way."
All right, cheers. No, it's like you can't cross Caz. It's like when you're in a mood, when you feel like you've been hard done to, you have to level the playing field.
Yeah, I'll be nice.
Get out, innit?
And if I'm being nice and you put me down for it, then right, that's it.
You will make me feel as bad as what you think you felt just to level the playing field.
It's got to be even, hasn't it? It's got to make you understand.
You've heard the saying, 2 wrongs don't make a right.
I say it all the time to Frankie and she doesn't agree with me, so we'll just go with that.
Not surprised. She's got your blood in her.
Sure says it makes me feel better, though.
That's a great response. That is one of the most selfish responses you can get, but it's still great coming from a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. It makes me feel better.
Yeah.
I'm going to make them feel like crap.
Bothered.
Yeah, not bothered, but you do that, don't you? Like,
you do, though, don't you?
Who's got the worst temper, you reckon, out of me and you?
You, 100%. I haven't really got a temper.
You do. You have your moments.
Oh, you shouted at me the other day, didn't you? Because I snapped at someone in the car on the way home.
Yeah, a little snappy pant moment you had. But
what did he do? He cut me up or something. I was driving too close behind me.
Yeah, anyone who's tailgating you don't like at all. No. You have the moments. But there was one when we had Frankie in the back of the car and she'd got a new Stanley Cup and she'd put a drink in it.
You said you weren't going to tell this story.
No, you're just making me... I'm not going to tell, like, the full end of that, but it was one of them moments where the kid's just done something wrong.
No, a Stan leaked all over the school bag.
It's leaking out, and she just sat there with it, and you're like, "That, move the bag."
She went, Mum, look, my drink's leaking on my bag, and you know when it, like, pools on the top, but it's not gone through yet. And she had, like, football kit and everything in this bag. So I'm going... Right, move the bag, like nudge it so that it all falls off. And she's just looking at me and I'm going, move the bag. And in the end I had to like turn around and just grab the bag and pull it off.
One of them moments, like, it's all right, like, you were explaining it now and laughing about
and I was
it was like...
And then you just went...
I was like that. I was basically just there, like, in my own little driving world like that, just going... What? Just driving along it, she's like losing.
You looked at me like
her shit, losing her shit big time. I'm just like that. I'm just like, not just me. It's not just me. And you was just like...
Salvaged the football kit, though, because she had a game on Thursday after school, so I had to make sure it was all...
Yeah, kids football officially finished this Friday. Alfie's final is our last game. Frankie's finished.
Done and dusted.
Done and dusted. She's out of a school semi-final. She got beat 4-1. Not happy with that.
3-1, wasn't it?
You said 4?
Don't make it sound worse.
Lost. That's all that matters. Alfie's final, finally. Bless him, he's doing his exams at the moment, his GCSEs, and he's grafting. He's studying away, but he's not even been able to do much. And they're trying to avoid getting in the way of the GCSEs for the lads, because all of that age group, they're all doing them at the moment.
Yeah, so it's been a bit to and fro.
The league's not allowed, and they want them to play it on the Wednesday.
Yeah.
And both managers and both teams are like, can we just organise another day? They've
so do you think he'll win on Friday?
It's
50-50.
50-50. He finished second in his league, 3 points behind the team that they're playing in the final. So, yeah, there was 3 points between them in the league, and they're fighting it out in the final.
So we've got Alfie's final Friday night, and then Wembley Saturday.
Wembley. Oh, God. Yeah. And then...
Do you know what? That day could be absolutely amazing. Because imagine if we actually go there and win, and like look at all them City fans, that's going to be amazing. But then you got the downside, and what feels like the more reality at the moment is that we're just going to have to face up to them.
The reality hurts more than anything, because having to drive down the motorway with them is one, all bullish.
The services is always a nightmare.
Yeah. Then you've got the nightmare of driving back, which is just as bad because they're all bullish and happy. Reality is I've got work to do, so I've got to hang around a little bit. Instead of being able to get out of there, it's probably going to be the one time where I'm like, I want to just go on.
If we lose, I don't think we should hang around.
It's going to be painful if we lose the game. We have got work to do, though, unfortunately.
If we lose, they're going to be in for a while, so maybe we get out quick.
Okay, give me United fan, I'll be out of there quick.
Yeah, but get out quick, do the content, and then run before all the City fans come out. I know, let's start thinking positive. It's one game, and we can do it.
Yeah, you keep thinking that way. Like I've seen it.
I'm gonna manifest all these positive vibes this week, and just keep imagining us winning.
Well, this week is going to be one of them weeks where everyone just goes in on the full positive. Like it's the final, you can do this, we can do that, and you're talking. But the reality that I'm talking about is as soon as the game kicks off, then you see what these players really are, and that's when it's like, why did he even get my hopes up?
It's going to be interesting to see what team he plays, though, because he's been given a bit of a headache, hasn't he, with the different formations he's tried.
He's actually got a squad to pick from that he can't moan about.
Do you think Varane and Martinez will start in defence?
Yep, it will be them too.
Do you think Rasmus will start?
Yep, I think he'll play as well.
What about Rashford?
Nope.
He's not done anything to really earn a place, has he?
I think it's an ominous sign for Rashford in the summer.
I wonder what he thinks, though.
I don't care what Rashford thinks.
No, but when you think of, do you ever put yourself in their shoes and think what they must say?
Well, I said this on international duty before. Like when he sat on the bench with Anthony Gordon in front of him, that must have been the biggest reality check any player could get. And he's fallen so far. He still believes in his own hype, though. So it's up to him to pull himself out of it. I just haven't got any time for him at all. I'm not bothered. I just want him gone. See you later. Don't care anymore.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's bound to be another eventful week. But then we have got our Jolly Hollies.
Yep, on the Monday.
Straight after that. So whatever happens, we are still going to be at least on that plane, beer in hand, and thinking about pool times and restaurant times.
This time in a week, we'll be on the plane.
Yes, this time next week we will be on the plane. That's a good feeling, that.
Yeah.
That is a very,
sorry,
very
everyone
good
who's not.
Yeah, anyone who's not going on holiday, sorry to rub that in, but yeah, it's going to be interesting doing these shows from abroad anyway. Yeah. Catching up with all the headline news and everything like that. It's going to be...
We're going to have a Caribbean podcast as well, aren't we?
Yeah. Will we?
Well, yeah, we're there 10 days.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we will. Week after. Wow. So our podcast will be out the night that we get there.
Yeah.
For next week. Wowza. Yeah, man. What a week this is going to be. Interesting, but Then I think we'll have plenty of stories in the podcast from being in the Caribbean, won't we?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Not as many like sporty footballing stories, maybe not, but more.
Yeah. More like. Well, let's just.
I'm sure you're bound to do some funny, embarrassing.
Yeah,
things.
I'll do something stupid. I always seem to do it, but it'll be good for camera anyway, won't it?
Yeah, or you'll probably make friends with some random people.
No, everyone knows Forever United TV. We are worldwide. That's what it is. So I can't help that. That pretty much wraps up our week and episode 5. 5 done.
Yep, and they're going all right, I think. Hopefully people are enjoying it.
Yeah, make sure you give the video a like, guys, as well. Make sure you subscribe, and if you are just tuning in for the first time, it's bound to get more exciting over the summer, I think, with being out and about constantly.
Exciting, chaotic
madness, organised madness. Yeah, I think the stories are going to start piling up.
Yep.
Definitely what we've got planned anyway. But yeah, guys, that is it. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you all next Monday. We'll be on our way to the Caribbean. No, would have made it to the Caribbean.
Yeah.
But it's a
4-hour time difference. So when it goes live at 8, it will be 4 p.m. for us.
There we go. That's it. Well done.
See.
Cheers for tuning in, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Let's go and try and recover, because going from that weekend into the podcast has been a bit of a tiring one, hasn't it? But hey, move on. Hardcore.
Yep. Thanks, everyone.